Hey, welcome, y'all. Hold on, wait. Let me take that back a little bit. Who that was on the couch? That our boy Kevin Simmons. Look, he had Anton in there too. Who was that? Who was Little Ling Ling? I ain't talking about no Miss Ling Ling. I'm talking about Miss Thing Thing. Oh man, anyway.
In this moment, yes. In that second, what's wrong, alright. It's not hard to fool me. Cause I'm addicted to the good vibes.
Hey man, y'all in the comments, man. Y'all let me know who miss hearing this doggone music, man.
When you go away, I fall. No need to say, I fall.
Man, listen, dog. Yo, what up? What's going on, everybody? Let's go ahead and address this thing first and foremost before we get started. Did not cam up today, guys, because the Sony A7 Mark IV is out of commission right now. Out of commission. We got to do some work. We got to figure out what's going on with it, man. It's not necessarily the camera, it's really my lens. Uh, I just got to make sure everything is good and tight, man. We had a little situation yesterday that had happened, but we're gonna get that fixed, man, so we can get jump back on camera. So yeah, no camera today. I'm definitely not about to use this little whack camera that's on my laptop. That's not happening. Anywho, so today's video, guys, is going to be titled. Let's get up out of this, man. I don't know. I feel like I want to play that every time before we go live. Before we go live, I feel like that needs to be played. Yo, fam. The, hold on, y'all. We having some technical difficulties over here. Give me 1 second. Get y'all back right, baby. But yeah, today's video, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be titled, Why Are They So Scared to Say Yes? Don't know if he's referring to men, don't know if he's referring to women, but he's asking, why are they scared to say yes? Let me go ahead and share that thing back up on the screen real quick. We got some comments right here. We're gonna get into let's see. Let's see what we got. The first question is a shout out to the ultimate red pill that said, "Do you know how to tie a tie?" Absolutely not, brother. Don't judge me, man. I do not know how to tie a tie. Not a bow tie, not a regular tie, none of that. All right, I don't know how to tie a tie, man. The next question coming from the Ultimate Red Pill as well is, can you do a tutorial or a live stream and do a step by step? You asking for a whole lot, brother. No, let me stop. Again, I don't necessarily know how to tie a tie, but I do want to learn. Yeah, man, I guess that can be in the works. We can maybe do like a video or whatever of us learning how to tie a tie, and I can probably break down and give like a step by step on how to tie a tie, and also do the long version of me messing up and jacking up everything in the process of that. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this video, man. We'll answer some more questions in a few. All right. But great question, man. Great suggestion. That's honestly the type of stuff that I really want to do on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Learn all of the things that we didn't learn growing up. Do that and show that in real time of me kind of stumbling all over the place trying to figure things out. So that's definitely on the books, man. We'll put that on the books. I don't know if that'll be the next live stream or the next video that comes out, but definitely want to try that out and see. I want to say I tried twice, man, and failed. miserably. I end up having to get somebody else to tie my tie for me, and it was all. It's always been a young lady, but yeah, we're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there, fam. I tell you what, while he's chilling, we can go through some more comments from your boy. Thank you guys so much for the likes, man. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. So Melanie says, would you date a girl with a BBL? Hold on, let me check the audio, y'all. Make sure we good. All right, audio still sounds like it's decent. It does look like Kevin Samuels' live stream has dropped down to freaking 144p. That ain't no 720, fam. I know what 720 look like. Anywho, that would be a no. That would be a flat out no, man. Anybody that's trying to take the easy way in life, whether that's a BBL, whether that's a breast lift or a tummy tuck. No, I'm not talking about those medical reasons and all the other
What
stuff.
up?
I'm talking
What
about
up? What up? What up?
most women. No,
Let's get it.
I'm
Let's
not trying to
take it
kick it
away.
with anybody that wants to take the easy way out, man. Stay away. Well, I would stay away from those type of people.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Do me a favor when you come in the chat, when you come in the channel, hit that like button. Hit the like button.
Get it on the way in or the way out.
Hit the like button. And let me know the city and state you're hailing from, your age, city and state. Oh, look at the sad little haters. We got 5 dislikes already. Guys, go kill yourself.
Oh, dang.
I mean, really? What's going on, Robert? You got 5 people that already dislike the stream. Well, the coronavirus for you.
Dang.
I mean, seriously. Like, how much would your life have to suck? You've been blocked. They're like, I'm going to hit the dislike button, dumbass. That helps the stream.
Absolutely.
It helps the stream. It counts as engagement.
Absolutely.
Your haters are your biggest employees.
Absolutely.
So hit the like, hit the
we love
dislike
it.
button
And we
again.
love
Go
it.
to your troll accounts.
I just thought
Hit the
about it. I can actually
dislike
take my
button.
shirt off because I'm not on live right now. Oh, I'm just-
But again, because
Can
you
I speak?
love this stream.
God.
All right. Let's see. We want to improve the lighting in here. I kind of like this lighting. I'm liking this lighting. It's a little dim.
Oh, that
Let's
feels
see.
good.
Let's see. That's with the light, without the light. With the light, without the light.
I don't know why my live
the
stream
light.
went
Let's keep
down.
it on.
Come on, man. Take that thing back to
Let's
720p. Come on,
let's
fam.
zoom in a little bit more.
That is not 720p.
All right.
I like how you can just zoom in when you
In
want
this
to, man. I
time
need
of
that.
pandemic and crisis and all this other
And it's
stuff
quick,
going
too.
on. Here's what a lot of people are starting to recognize. Women in particular. Women in particular are starting to realize that, oh damn, I am without a man. I'm without a man. What do I do in these times? Because if it all went to pot, how can you really protect yourself, defend yourself?
Questions?
All right, you can't do anything about yesterday. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I want to tell you that there is a way, ladies, that if you are hating your situation,
Yeah.
you're hating the fact that you have no husband, no significant other who claims you, who is willing to shelter in place with you right now. If you don't have a 200-pound male next to you, if you don't have a 6 foot 200-pound male next to you,
It ain't gotta be 200 pounds. He can be 190. He can be 190 and be a beast. Cause you know what I'm saying? That 190 can sling 200 and something, fam.
was 6'4", 200-pound male next to you. All right. Or even 5'10", 180-pound man. If you don't have a man next to you that you can actually count on
He cleaned it up.
to help you make it through this shelter in place, this uncertain time, you can't fix it yesterday, but there is something that you can do going forward to ensure that this never happens again. To come out of this thing on the other side a changed woman. A changed woman. How many ladies, how many women do we have in the chat room that are single? How many women do we have in the chat room that are single? I'm
50,
gonna change the title of the
50,
stream to
27.
"Ladies Improve Your Image Immediately." How many ladies do we have in the chat room that are single?
Can he do that?
If you're a single woman, put a one in the chat room. Who? Oh, let me go ahead and help you. I don't. Am I trying to copy off of who? See, but I don't need to copy off anybody. But let me go ahead and help you. I don't think you know who you're talking to. And you can go ahead to the Silent Haters Bureau too. This is what I would tell you. This is what's going to happen in this time. You're going to see some of the when times people get pressed, you're going to see who they really are. And some of you guys are exactly where you need to be because of your attitudes. We're not going to deal with guys today. We're going to deal with women. We're going to deal with women. So here we go. Got one woman, two women. Well, it's not that I mean, honestly, they did not need a man when things are going right, but we can't deal with that. Can't deal with that. And the problem is the overall image of women in the West is equal and independent. So I'm not going to break this down to a racial thing. The overall image of women in the West are equal and independent. And over the last 30 plus years, I was raised in a different generation where we saw men and women who had gender roles. But over the last 30 years, equality has become the norm.
Absolutely.
To where, honestly, there are young men today
Come
who
on.
think it's offensive to treat women as though they are the weaker vessel.
What's the issue with gender roles? What's the issue with a guy doing the things that he should do as a male? And what's the issue with a young woman doing the things that she should do as a woman? And when you talk about gender roles, right, the things that, you know, most of the time you see men doing or whatever, right? What's wrong with your young lady cooking for you as a man? What's wrong with the guy, when you guys go out to eat, him taking care of the bill? I don't understand.
There are men who think, honestly, that it is appropriate to say, no, we should do 50-50. No, it's wrong to treat them any differently. So here's what, hope I'm not,
Oh, my
nope,
bad. I
too
didn't know
late.
that was still sitting up
Yeah,
there.
here's what I need you guys to understand.
I got y'all. My fault.
That is the overall image of women in the West. You as an individual woman cannot change 30 to 40 to 50 years of equality and this and that, and you shouldn't want to. Like it or not, there are some good things that came out of the women's lib movement.
Yep.
There are some good things that came out of, feminist ideals. Some.
Some.
Nothing is completely bad. You heard the old adage, even a broke clock is right twice a day.
Nah, I never heard that.
So
That's
the
dope.
question is,
I love it.
how do you improve the image of women? And the first woman you got to deal with is start with yourself. That's all you can do.
There you go.
That's all you can do. And there's one thing that you can do as a woman, as a lady, to actually improve your image
There you go.
with the
Listen.
kind of men you say you want to have in your life.
Work on your femininity.
One thing, one word actually. And
Femininity.
that one word is yes.
Oh.
Start saying yes.
What
to everything.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Start saying yes to everything. Connie says she need her man.
Hey,
Understand? Start saying yes. Guys, I need the guys in the chat room to holler back. How many times have you had a great idea, something you wanted to do for your lady friend, a woman you're interested in? You were like, "We're gonna go do this, 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 this," and then she said no.
me and make plans.
You had it all planned out, and she just said no. She wants you to be in charge. She wants you to stand up, but then she says no.
Never. I ain't never had that happen.
What does that do for the situation? Guy was all excited, ready to start doing stuff with you so y'all can bond and learn and grow together, and you say no. See, ladies, that was the wrong thing to say. Say yes. Say yes to everything. Want to go try sushi? Yes. You want to eat? You want to try escargot, snails? Yes.
Ugh.
Want to go rock climbing? Yes. We're going to wine and palette. Yes. Say yes to everything that won't kill you or it crosses your moral line. If it crosses your moral line, you can say no. But if it won't kill you, say yes. If you're in a relationship with a man and you're having sex, it applies there too. You ladies need to become more.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't be careful. Be careful, Kevin. Tread lightly now. You know, this is a touchy subject.
Um, Agreeable with men. Just say yes. Your default position needs to be yes. To where your man can come up to you or a man can come up to you and say, "Hey, let's go grab coffee real quick." Yes. How much? Because saying no is not helping you out, and going back and forth and having to having a quorum for a decision isn't helping either. Say yes. So, ladies, let me ask you. Let me ask the ladies. A lot of women take saying yes as being too submissive. Okay, here's what
What?
I want to hear from the ladies. I want to hear from the
What?
ladies how saying yes is a bad thing.
A lot of women take saying yes as being too submissive. What? Well, I tell you,
How it
boy.
hurts you. Join the conversation. What's the problem with saying yes? Join the conversation, ladies. I want to hear. I want to actually hear from everybody. Join the conversation. Let's talk about it. How does saying yes change the change? How does saying yes change your world? See, when I do my shows, I I go back and listen to my shows, and a couple of shows I've done. I'm gonna go back and break down the business shows for the guys. But see, guys, I need you guys to understand something too. There's also a say yes for the men component, but it's completely different. Maybe not, but as to
I ain't gonna cap. I know this show. I believe this is like Women Wednesdays or something like that. But I be wanting them to break down. I really wish that I would have got a chance to chime in on some of these doggone live streams, man.
many questions, maybe not no. Okay, join the conversation because it's too hard to read the chat room, and I really want to hear why don't you ladies just say yes off the rip? Why do you say no? Why does it have to be a discussion all the time? Why do we
Mm,
need your input? Why do we need to have a democracy? Why not just a benevolent dictatorship?
that's how it's supposed to be anyway. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. Any young lady that's not agreeable, that's super combative, that's always going back and forth with you about every single thing, then chances are either you're not the man that you're supposed to be, or that young lady is not the type of chick that you want to continue to deal with. All right. And either way, y'all need to separate yourselves from each other. And both of y'all, or one of y'all, need to become the person that they should or that they need to be. But if you continue to stay in that type of relationship, and either one of you are doing the work or one person is not doing the work, then I promise you, it's going to drive both of y'all insane.
And this is not. And here's the thing, ladies. I'm not just talking about to your man. I'm talking about to guys. Period. Guy comes up and wants to talk to you. Talk to him.
Right, hold
Give
on.
him 2 or 3 minutes. Just don't be rude to him. You want to go grab a quick drink? Sure. Right
Single.
to grab. You're in line at Starbucks. He wants to talk because obviously whatever you're doing has not yielded the results. If the result is you want to be in a marriage or a committed relationship, if you want to have people to count on. See, here's another thing. This whole protection piece, and let's go back to one Miss April Mason, who was so upset that her non-dating male friends didn't call to check up on her. Well, I got a question I'd ask her. How often did you say yes when they asked you for something? Hey, April, I have an event I want to go to. I need a +1. Did you say yes? Even though you're not dating him, he's your friend. He wants to go to the mayor's ball. You're not going. Your man didn't invite you, but he needs to have he needs to go and have a +1. Did you say yes? Say yes to +1s, ladies. Even to guys you are not physically or romantically attracted to. But if you call him your friend, say yes. Uh-oh.
Hmm. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Uh-oh. Robert, did you hear what I just said?
I believe say
See,
yes.
you want men who you're not sleeping with to be there for you. You need to be there for them. Say yes. Tell me, ladies, what's wrong with a guy that you call your friend, calling you up saying, "Hey, I got a Chamber of Commerce function I'm going to. I'm being honored at a banquet. I need a +1. I'd like to take you with me."
If y'all are so-called friends, I understand that. Hopefully, that young lady doesn't have a boyfriend or anything, because I'm completely against that stuff, man. Completely against anybody. Technically, I'm one of those people that believe if you are in a relationship, a young lady definitely don't need no damn male friends. No, zero male friends. If you are in a relationship, you don't need, you shouldn't have any male friends. Outside of family, I don't even know. But outside of the family, I don't trust him. I don't care if whatever he identifies as, absolutely not. Once you get into a relationship, them people got to go.
Say yes. Put on your best little black dress and go be a friend. Go there with a smile on your face. Be a good person. Be nice to him. Be nice to the people around. Give him the little side hug on the way out. What does that cost you? You get to go to an event with somebody you already say that he's a friend or an associate.
Get to
You
dress
get
up,
to help out a friend.
look
You get to
nice.
network. You get to mingle. You get to
Hmm.
eat. You get to drink. Come on. The more you say no, the thank you. Smooth to smooth. Comment of the day. What's going on, Naima? The more you say no, the less invites you get. Let me go ahead and simplify it. The more you say no, the less you get. Shout out to Smooth to Smooth. Everybody give Smooth to Smooth a high five. The more you say no, the less you get.
I respect.
All you gotta do is say yes.
Uh-oh.
Uh, let me let me change this to make it a more provocative topic. Good women say yes.
Oh, Lord.
Good women say yes often. Good women say yes often. What is a good woman? Well, a good woman is a good woman as a woman who's your friend. I mean, every lady,
Agreeable
women,
friend.
let's understand. You don't have a husband. You don't have a boyfriend. And first off, you don't have a husband. Let's call it you don't have a man. Boyfriend is a term you probably should stop using back in high school.
High school, yeah.
You don't have a committed monogamous relationship. Shout out to what's the old girl that gets a lot of grief over on this side of YouTube? Michaela Pink.
Who?
Um, I saw one of her videos one time, and she was talking to her women saying that too. She's like, "Y'all better learn how to be nice and say yes to these men." I mean, I don't look. You can dog Shira Seven and Michaela Pink. I do not approve their messages, but I will tell you, she made some good. In that, she made a good point. She's like, look, I went out to a business dinner with a bunch of guys, and I played the little coy girl role, and da da da, and I was nice and this, and I said yes. And when you say, and when a woman says yes, even men you aren't kicking it with, they'll step into their male role. See, and here's another thing. Oh man, these guys are simps, and don't worry about that. If it ain't you, don't worry about it. Here's the thing. I don't care if a guy wants to spend his money on a woman for just her time. Let me put this out here real clear.
Oh. Let that man speak.
Over on the manosphere side, this is a very, very different segment, but it is a tiny segment of the world. There are plenty of men out there who are more than happy to be a sugar daddy, a mentor, or whatever, to
Facts.
take their money,
Facts.
invite a beautiful woman to Ruth Chris, the
Mm-hmm.
Palm, Foco the Child, and sit there and share a meal with her and know they are not getting anything but a side hug.
Right.
And
And
that
some
is
of them is
all.
cool.
And if they were to get more, they would accept it.
Yeah.
But they don't expect any more, and they are happy to do it. And you call.
I would say more in the lines of like a business type of transaction, right? So if I have a young lady, or if I know a young lady that's extremely beautiful, right? And let's just say, for instance, I'm not that attractive. You know what I mean? I know this young lady is out of my league. And I'm willing to pay for her time because I'm getting something out of it. It'll be more of a business type of thing, right? Where, if I'm taking her out, taking pictures or whatever, and I wanted to use that to put that on something that's going to help promote my business or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Men becoming the best version of themselves and, you know, basically paying for her time through, uh, because again, being around a beautiful young lady, there's a lot of great things that come along with that. And that's extremely easy to market to men and women. Beautiful, beautiful women, honestly, that can make you a lot of freaking money if you spin things correctly. So let's say, again, if I have a young lady that's beautiful, one of my friends or whatever, just ask her, hey, is it okay if I take you out? You know what I'm saying? Take a few pictures or whatever, whatnot, what have you, and use that for my website, for my business, for my YouTube channel, for my Instagram or whatever. You know what I mean? And you can actually do that with a few different women, so it don't necessarily look like, you know what I'm saying, that it's just one chick. And you can honestly use that and promote the heck out of that, man. Shoot some B-roll and actually make like a little short either skit or a video or something like that, man. Let me tell you something. Y'all better learn, man. Y'all better learn how to use things to your advantage. Not every chick that you get with, not every chick that you meet are women that you're supposed to sleep with. Some of those people can be used as business opportunities, right? Everything is, especially when it comes to men, it's like a give and take. Everything is transactional. I give you my money, you give me your time.
Call them simp and lame or whatever, but it ain't your. Don't worry about what they're doing. Are they happy? Did they have a good time with that woman? Then that was it. Then that was good. That was a good decision. See, far too often we sit around and talk about men that we don't understand.
I'm really trying to get this
And
doggone
I'm
internet
telling
right,
you,
bro.
dude,
What the hell is
men with
going
money
on?
don't think like middle class guys. See, it's one thing when you're making $50,000 a year and going to Foco de Chao, a $150 or $200 dinner. That
And you pissed off, right? And you pissed
that
off
hits your
because you like,
pockets when
bro,
you're
come
making
on, man.
$35,000 a year. When you got money, $200 is lunch.
Right. That's just another Tuesday, bro.
Hey man, real talk. Let's talk about it.
That's just
See,
another
understand something. This
Tuesday.
dude just came in here. I'm gonna call you out on it. Sick lid. First of all,
Oh Lord.
Bill Gates, simp. Warren Buffett, simp. I may ask you something, dude. How can men who are better than you? How can you call a man who's better than you anything?
Mm.
He can call you a pauper. See, you'll be pissed off if
A
Bill Gates
broke
came and
mother.
called you all kind of shit because I don't understand some of you guys, man. You talking to men who are billionaires, and you down over here. You got to. That is fascinating to me. That is fascinating to me that you got guys over here who drive a bus for a living talk about Warren Buffett, calling him a simp.
Can't make it up. Can't
What
make
does that
this up.
get you, man? What does that get any of you? See, what I've shown, what I think I've shown a lot when I talk to guys is a lot of times as men, we spend so much time with shit that really does not affect us in our day-to-day lives,
He just sound like a hater, to be
and you're
honest
just
with you.
talking shit. But if you want to talk shit, talk shit.
I was about to
Bro,
say,
talk shit all day long.
right, what is gonna
But
get you?
anyway, ladies, say yes. Don't say yes to guys like that, though. I'm going to be honest. Guys like that do not get yes said to them. Let
Hell
me
no.
tell you the guys that don't get yes said. The guys who do not hear the word yes are guys who walk around thinking
Complaining about everything.
scarcity mindset, thinking the world is everybody's trying to get over on you,
Hmm.
thinking everybody's trying to get something from you. And you got to ask yourself, how much do you have?
Not a
Why
damn
should
thing.
somebody want to try to get over on you? Nobody's trying to hustle the average walk a day guy.
Cause you ain't got a
But
damn.
anyway, back to the ladies. Ladies say yes. And I need to clear it up. Who do you say yes to? The guys who have an offer. If a guy wants to take you out to dinner, say yes. Even in that whole dinner whore article thing that Obsidian was talking about. I'm talking
Dinner
about one
whore
third of
argument.
women
Oh,
admit
wait a minute.
going out to dinner with a man that they
Oh
had no
man.
romantic interest in.
Uh,
The only problem.
I don't know what he's gonna say. Okay, so if it's a mutual agreement, right, and they have that the conversation ahead of time, you know what I'm saying, and they pretty much know. That's what I made. That's why I made that comment earlier about, hey, I'm taking you out because this is more of a business transaction rather than me actually trying to get to know you. For a young lady, I think that a lot of people, when it comes to those things, should let people know up front. Cause I'm an honest guy. Like for real, if it's something that I want out of you, then I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, listen, can I borrow you for a few minutes? I want to do this, that, and the third, or whatever. Let's just go ahead and cut to the chase. I don't want you to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time. So if you cool with this, let's move forward. If not, I can get somebody else. Like that free meal crap again, man. You know you're not feeling this dude, and he thinks like, hey, she feeling me. She's willing to go out on a date with me or whatever, and then you ghost him after. I can't get with that. I've seen some of my homeboys have to go through some of this stuff, man. I just can't get with it.
Problem I have
Granted,
with that.
granted, they do have to become what they did. End up becoming a little bit more assertive, and most of my homeboys are actually married now, so
Is that they lied or if they lied or played in the gray area or left the impression or
yeah.
led the guy on thinking that
There
they
we go.
did have an interest in him. They
That's what I
deceived the
mean.
guy, then that's a problem.
That's what I mean.
But if a man asks a woman out to dinner and he knows she's not interested, and she does not lead him on
Yeah.
saying, "Yeah, take me out to this restaurant. If you try a little harder, you might." No, I don't got no problem with a man saying, "Hey, I got money. You're beautiful. I want feminine companionship. You want masculine companionship. I don't want to eat by myself. Let's go. Do it.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? That's two people being
Say
honest.
yes."
Two people being honest. I have no issues with that.
The mind is the most valuable asset. She will follow the. Uh, okay. I don't
Okay.
know what that's supposed to.
Me? Like, what are you trying to get? What do you mean?
A lot of them do that. No, seriously. Who are you and how do you have a wrench? I need to know who you are. Did you change your name?
So boy crazy.
Who are you? What's your name? Cry now, laugh later. Did you change your name?
I need to know who you are. How did you get a wrench? Who gave this? Who let this guy in?
Somebody. I changed my name. I need to know who you are. Could you email me and let me know who you are? Because when I see somebody with a wrench on my channel that does, can you give me the initials or something? Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, okay. There you go. What does CIA mean? CIA means confident, intelligent, and assertive. See,
It used to be arrogant, but he
let
switched
me
his
say
name,
something
thankfully.
right now. And I was a part of this problem. People in the interior
We're gonna
of
switch
the
this thing
United
around because
States,
I'm gonna
we
do my
don't
little
know
thing
how
while
to
we're
date.
doing. Facts.
When I moved to New York City, is the first time I learned actually how to date. You go out with somebody 3 times in the South or the Midwest, and you're in a relationship. That was our culture. But when
Okay.
I moved to Manhattan, was the first time I could actually talk to somebody, meet them, interact with them, not speak to them for weeks. Call them up and say, "Hey, there's a new Broadway play opening up. Hey, there's a new restaurant. There's a new this. There's a new, hey, I want to go. I want to go here on Wednesday. Make a date on a Tuesday for Friday, or make a date on Tuesday for next Friday. You go, you spend your 2 to 4 hours, and you leave each other, and you don't talk until the next time you're setting a date. That's dating. You
Wow.
set a date, you go do the date, and you leave.
Man, I don't think I've ever did anything like that, to be
You don't
honest
have
with
to
you.
have all this communication back and forth
Never. I don't think
if
I've
you're
ever
just
did that.
dating.
I've never just dated. Did I pause something?
Come to my channel,
Oh,
acting silly. You're gonna get. Let me go ahead and help you out. What's going on, Robert? Good women say yes often. Good women say yes often. What's the upside to saying no when you ain't got nothing else to do? See, the reason so many women say no today
hmm
is because you feel like you got to. There's the grass is greener on the other side. I'm going to say no to this
hmm
on the off chance I can say yes to a better deal. Well, that's not a good person in my opinion. You call yourself being a friend or an associate with somebody, and you know good and damn well you would like for them to say yes to you, you better say yes to him. Let me say that again. If you call yourself a friend or an associate of a man, and you know good and damn well that you would want him to say yes to you, you better say yes to him. I ain't saying you got, and even if you, and this counts with strangers too.
Wait a minute. Hold on now, brother.
If a guy walks up to you, introduces himself, and y'all strike it out and have a conversation, he asks you, "Hey, let's go grab a drink on Wednesday night." Say yes. Take a shot. Go. What's the worst that could happen?
You can get
You
kidnapped
could
now.
add to your network. See, every time a man approaches you, you don't have to just, well, what if I'm not physically attracted to him? I don't give a shit. You're not supposed to be physically attracted to a man. You're supposed to be looking at a man's character, and you cannot determine
Mm.
character in the 1st 7 seconds. You cannot determine character really in the first 10 minutes. You got to sit down and talk to somebody.
Uh,
This is why so many of you ladies today are not getting what you want from men because you're judging men based upon solely how they look. That is not how women are supposed to decide what men they have around them. What's going on, Robert?
What's going on, brother?
all right, here we go
What you got
again.
on
Yeah,
us?
yeah. Like I said, what I got for you is this. I'm gonna stay on your topic, but I was just like with you, with those guys, talk about that simp. But ladies, you got to say yes. A lot of y'all are not having any opportunities in your life. You're not progressing. You're not going anywhere. You're not growing. Because you're saying no. You got to learn how to open up your mouth and say yes. If you want to have some new experiences in life, you want to see new things, you're going to have to say yes. And one of the main problems why a lot of you women like to say no, you didn't say yes to many bum dudes. Let's just be honest. These dudes that's talking about
That's kind of going
sex,
against.
these are the dudes that you have said yes to. They can't show you nothing new. They can't take you rock climbing. They can't take you to the mayor's ball. They can't take you to the National Civil Rights Museum Freedom Awards. They can't take you to places where you can network and do this, that, and another. You done said yes to those dudes. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have a better life, yeah, it's our mantra, CIA. You're gonna have to. Only way you're gonna know you dealing with a CIA man, you're gonna have to have a conversation with him.
There you go.
And a lot of you ladies don't want to have conversation because you have dealt with too many of these broke, no plan, no future type of guys. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, one thing that you often talk about when you're talking on Facebook is you got to have a conversation with a man. Women oftentimes sit back, they say they got a relationship. Well, you have a relationship, there has to be a conversation had. The man got to tell you what he is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't determine that inside the first 5 minutes of meeting him.
That's it. You can't if you're not gonna hold like you said, character. You gotta see the character of the man. You gotta talk to the man. And the only way you're gonna talk to the man is you're gonna have to say yes to the man. That's the reality of it, ladies. Y'all, a lot of y'all look. You want the guys that can show you a new world, show you new things. Ladies, y'all gonna have to up it a little bit. Y'all gonna have to come up out of this wilderness y'all in. This I can't say no because it look like I'm being submissive. I'm saying yes to everything. Ladies, most of y'all are flogging and front. Y'all ain't experiencing nothing but heartache and disappointment. Learn how to say yes so you can experience something. That's just the problem. And really, to be honest with you, Kevin, I'm gonna be. I know some ladies may get mad at me for saying this.
Go ahead.
Honest with you, guys like me and you intimidate women. I hate to say that, but ladies get mad. Yes, we do. We intimidate you because the reality is, ladies, we have options. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to sit alone at home. We have those plus ones.
Oh hell. They don't want to hear that, man. They don't want to hear that you got options, brother. They don't want to hear that you got options, and that's the reason why you're not choosing them. They don't want to hear that.
And yes, some of them are not friends all the time. We have a lot of ladies want to be the plus one. So you feel like you in competition. In actuality, you are in competition.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we say,
Got to compete.
yeah, y'all love to say the woman is a gift. You better understand the man is a gift also.
A woman is a gift when she meets certain requirements. A woman is a gift when she possesses those things that most women don't possess. Okay, you're beautiful. You're pretty. You got long, beautiful hair, whatever. What do you have to go along with that? Your femininity is what sets you apart from other women. The more or the stronger that femininity, the more separation you're creating between those other women. And most women are born with that beauty and all the rest of those other things. But a lot of them honestly do not possess those feminine characteristics, being soft, being agreeable, being inspirational. Most women are combative. And if you want to separate yourself from the pack, then you can't be like the rest of the pack. All right? Ask yourself this. When you look at your attitude and you look at the rest of the world of women, would you say that you are close to them? Are you alike most women? Y'all have a lot of things in common. You like to argue. You like to go back and forth. You like to get last word. If you're not like other women, then you are so far ahead of the rest of the pack. Same thing goes for guys. Listen, we are not born and we don't inherit character. Women, you should be judging a man based on his character, not just his looks. All right? Judge a man based on his character, how he carries himself. May not be the best looking guy in the world, but still, how does he carry himself? Is he a hard worker? Is he masculine, strong? Does he look like the type of person that can protect you? He may be, hopefully, if he's not there yet, he's moving more towards being that provider, trying to level up, trying to be a better person. How does he treat other people? Like all of these things are the things that separate you from the rest of the pack.
You better understand that a man is
and those men that separate themselves like that, they have a lot more options. The older they get, it's like the older we get, the better we get. Especially if we're moving in a certain type of direction. And a lot of women don't want to hear that these type of men that are actually putting in the work, they have a lot more options. And they're not going to just choose a woman that's like all the rest.
gift also, ladies. So a lot of y'all sitting around, the reason why you are single and by yourself, nothing wrong with being single by yourself, but let's stop lying.
Oh, hold on. I'm out. Fuck that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I don't know. This is my opinion. I'm not gonna put this on Brother Robert.
Go ahead, brother.
But we have gotten too okay with letting our women, in particular our sisters, feel like there ain't nothing wrong with being single. Yeah, it is. And you seeing it right goddamn now. You're 40, you ain't got no friends, you ain't got no man, you ain't got no family. You are not capable of surviving on your own as a female in this world. You're not built for it. We are supposed to be coupled up. That's how we're made. And when the society's broken down, women are starting to feel what nature has been telling you. Yeah, there's something wrong with being single, especially in your later years and in your earlier years. So what does that ultimately mean, Robert? That means you're going to have to pick. You're going to have to settle. Just like I was telling the guys the other day, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, a fireman, an astronaut, an architect? Motherfucker, when we was growing up, you had to pick. You either went to college, the military, or a job. You only had 3 options. And you were thankful that it was that simple. You got to pick. And see, so many guys today don't want to pick because they're like, well, if I pick this, then this may be over there. No, motherfucker, you got to pick. That means you too, ladies, because guess what? I guarantee you'd be so much happier. Even if you had that 80% dude in your house right now that you were hunkered down, sheltering in place, than 100% of a goddamn zero. I said it.
Yes, sir. I can't do nothing but agree with you on that. Like I said, we got this mindset now, this solo mindset. Ladies, it don't work. How's it working for y'all? You sitting around, especially our sisters. You're sitting around talking about your college degrees. You're talking about your positions and this, that, and another. I remember your other show that you did. Where's your Fortune 500 company at? Where's your Fortune 1000 company? But you got all these degrees, but you telling me that you can't find me in that meeting or that seminar. You tell me that we don't exist. Here I am. My brother's right there in Atlanta, walk around all day long. But you say that you can't find him. No, ladies, you are intimidated by men like us. Because we know where we're going. We have a plan. We are going to stay on our plan. We have a vision. We have a purpose. If you want to get on board, you're going to have to say yes to what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go. If you say no, get off. Bye.
There you
Leave
go.
right where you sit. Go ahead, Kevin.
All right, man. So, ladies, go ahead and get on the on the platform, because I want to hear from the ladies.
Me too.
And the thing is, I'm gonna put you back down in the waiting room, because oftentimes women are kind of afraid to get on the panel, especially when they got two opinionated men on here.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, let me put you down, but I'm gonna still come. You go ahead and drop out, but you're still welcome to come back, because I really want to have a conversation with you. Peace out. See, what I need you ladies to understand is you don't have to like the words I'm saying. I accept it. You don't have to like the way I'm putting it. I'll accept that too. But what you cannot do is you cannot sit back and say the reality of your life right now. The reality of your situation right now is are you safe and secure in sheltering in place? What do you have? Pick the words that work best for you, because oftentimes we want to kill the messenger. Well, I don't like the way you said it. All right, but look, folks was married at an 80% rate back in the days of massive segregation, Jim Crow, and all that. The older generations, when they had less technology and less stuff, less options, they led happier lives. We got more stuff, more options, and happiness is at an all-time low. Leaf, I cannot hear you. I'm going to need you to unmute yourself. And we have gotten to the point to where we keep telling folks, it ain't nothing wrong with being, you can be single, ain't nothing wrong with being single. No. See, I grew up Baptist. Then I grew up Church of God in Christ. They would preach the Old Testament, fire, brimstone, consequences, revelations. And we've gotten away from that, and we got the prosperity gospel where we don't want to make any judgments. Well, no. We're doing ladies a disservice by telling them it's cool to be single at 50. No, it's not. I'm going to tell you, the look in so many of people I call friends and associates when I was at the mall and I saw so many of these nice women, the sheer look of terror in their eyes when Neiman Marcus and the mall said, we're shutting down for the next 2 weeks, possibly even longer. They looked like they had just got a diagnosis of stage 4 cancer, because those women knew they had no money, no man at home, no family. They were living paycheck to paycheck. Some of the women were going to get paid. A larger percentage of the women were not getting paid. They had no options. They had to leave. And their entire life, they interacted with people at the... Think about a woman who works in their 40s, who works at the mall. That's where they're getting all their social interaction with their co-workers and people coming to the mall. Now you're just sitting at the house. And your money's running out. Tell me it's nothing wrong? Okay, Leaf, I cannot hear you. DJ Nap. Let's get the donations up, folks. Let's get the donations up, because I'm not trying to insult women. I'm not trying to, what I'm really trying to get women to do is realize that now here's a time to when this passes, if you go into your life with an attitude of saying yes opens up options. Yes equals potential. No, that ends the conversation.
Oh, I'm gonna say this, man. I was actually having a conversation with a young lady. We actually had a class discussion in my construction class, and it kind of just goes back to you know saying women saying no or automatically Xing out certain type of men, right? So, and I mean, it kind of went both ways, almost, sort of, kinda. But it was one guy that was in the class, and he was like, "Listen, I will have sex. I will basically like casually date a young lady that does have kids, but I won't marry her. I will not marry a young lady that already has kids because I want to start a family with, I want to start a family of my own." And, guys hearing that, we're just like, okay, I mean, I respect it. It was a young lady in the class that, she felt some type of way about this. She was like, what? What the, like, what do you mean? He was like, he explained himself again and whatever. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I can see that. But she was saying, she was like, you're kind of you're exiting out like most or majority of all of the good women. You'll see that women with children are a lot smarter, make better decisions than women without children. And I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell? How does that make any sense? And I'm still listening or whatever. And she went on and did a little rant, and of course there was some other women in there, look girl code, whatever, I respect it. But they were sitting there going back and forth or whatever, and I honestly felt like she was trying to shame him into basically, saying that or take his statement back about the way that he felt about single mothers or whatever. He basically stood his ground, like, no, I mean that's just, my preference or whatever. We laughed it off. And in the same breath, that young lady sat there and said, I don't date guys that have hair. If you look at any guy that I've dated, they've all been bald and they've all had beards. I'm just like, wait, what? So you just went on and got on this guy's case and really went in about him having a preference. But you're allowed to have a preference. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to overlook most men, but he's not allowed to overlook women that have already had a child by someone else. Just having a preference and saying, listen, I would much rather start a family with a young lady that doesn't have kids. That's it. I would much rather settle down with a young lady that doesn't have children. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, bro. But that's how things are. Like seriously, a lot of men are shamed for having a preference, which is, it's cool as long as you're not complaining about the outcomes you're getting in life. And listen, I'm equal when it comes to that. I know Kevin says, women should should have somebody there with them. I think two things can be true at the same time. I still believe this. If you are okay with the choices that you have made in your life and you're not out here complaining about the lifestyle, that you are living because of the choices that you have made, then by all means, do whatever you feel, enjoy your life, be you. They always say that everybody is different, so some people could be completely happy without having somebody. Okay, cool. Again, I respect that. Keep that same energy though. Don't try to, again, when you are hot, I don't want to say hot, when you are beautiful, you got a lot of attention and all that other stuff, and you're feeling some type of way, or you feel like, yo, I'm good. I don't need anybody. And then when you get a little bit older, you got a little bit more miles on you. Do not try to come back after all these doggone years and try to get with someone or try to reverse that thing and try to get in a relationship and then get upset when all of those guys that maybe once would have dated you, they like, no, I'm good now, fam. You know what I mean? Your time came, you wasted it, you made the wrong decisions or whatever. You have to live with that. You got to respect that. It kind of goes back to one of those situations about, we had talked about the other day. If you make the decision or you make the choice to move on with your life and be single, get bust down, or you again make the decision to do whatever, keep that same energy and live with that. But do not be upset with other people because they allowed you to make your decision. They allowed you to do whatever it is that you wanted to do, and they're not willing to give in to whatever your demands is later on in life because you don't have that leverage anymore. You gave that up, so you got to respect it. That's all I'm saying.
People are a resource. Money and all that other stuff, that comes downstream. People is what it's about. DJ Neff, what's up?
It's
I
low.
can barely hear you.
I thought you can control the what's the name.
You got to speak up. No, not really. Are you on Bluetooth?
I'm on my laptop.
There you go. Stay right there. Go ahead. All right.
Check.
There we go. Patrick Lattimore. Shout out to Big Patrick.
What's your definition of a feminine
Haven't had a
woman?
chance to catch it live until now. But there we go.
We'll get into it.
Go ahead, DJ now.
Yeah, my bad, man.
Go ahead, man. We'll figure it out. You know.
Yeah, hey, Zoom don't give you a chance to get your mic stuff straight, man. Like a StreamYard. It goes right in there. So I was trying to, get my stuff together. But
yeah, but here's the thing with StreamYards, man. StreamYards is jank. Sometimes a guest can't hear a guest. Yeah. Zoom requires. See, what Zoom is going to require is a little bit of a learning curve for the people who run panels,
right.
But it is far superior, especially as we start to get on. So, but now you got it.
Yeah. I'm down here at my little studio set up, man. So shout out to you, Uncle Kev, man. I'm checking out the content, and it's always a great conversation. I've been going back and forth with Naima in here. We both in the DMV. It's a lot of DMV folk in here, man. So I think this is ideal for this particular conversation.
Right, Naima, Miss Buckner.
Yeah.
Lips, Hot Lips Houlihan. There's a show called MASH. One of the women, Loretta Swit, played a character called Margaret Houlihan. They called her Hot Lips.
Hot Lips.
Naima, you are now Hot Lips. Everybody type Hot Lips in the chat room for Naima. Naima Buckner is now Hot Lips. Can't call her Hot Lips Houlihan, but she's Hot Lips.
Hey,
crazy.
I got a question for you though.
What's up?
I had this conversation probably sometime last year around holiday season, and it was from a young lady, and she presented a very profound point, considering the DMV, the same as where I understand that you're now at HCL. There's a high concentration of highly educated, highly successful, and highly attractive people in the DMV area. So the way she presented it was that has a lot to do with the choices that people make. There's always going to be somebody that's more attractive. There's always going to be somebody taller. There's going to always be somebody that makes more money. I was like, wow, that was mind blowing. Like I grew up in like Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, right? And I've been up here after my military stint, probably about 10, 11 years. And I'm pretty decent looking dude. Like I don't complain about women or nothing like that, but I do see that, okay, if I'm hanging out with my homeboys and they 6'2", 6'3", and they just as attractive as me.
So what's the ultimate question though?
The ultimate question is, do you think that actually has an effect on people's decision making?
Yeah, it skews their. First off, yes. Here's what it does. It skews their actual potential. See, back in the day, you had to pick from the people in your neighborhood or your city. Most people lived and died inside of 10 miles. Now we're a much more mobile world. But here's the thing. We're wasting time.
Right.
We're wasting time always looking for the bigger nigga or the grass is greener on the other side. Well, this guy's going to be a little bit taller. Well, his eyelash is going to look a little bit better. There's always going to be something. Then you look up and you're 35 years old and all your options are passed. Look, There's always going to be somebody more attractive. You're going to have to pick and make a decision. Just like I talked to the guys yesterday about a job. Look, I was in sales. There were all kind of things I wanted to do, but you can't get anywhere if you continually changing, flipping, flopping, and dabbling. You gotta pick. And see, ultimately, when you hear a woman say, "Well, there's always going to be somebody better," yeah, but can you get them and keep them?
Mm-hmm.
That's the real question. They're gonna be better, but can you get them and keep them? I'll give you an example. Uh, my ex-wife, gorgeous. I mean, she was, for me, she did it. And we had this conversation once upon a time. I was like, yeah, for everything you bring to the table as far as looks, uh, name me another man who whipped out a 2-carat ring with cut clarity and quality and got on one knee and asked you to marry him. Cricket as quiet. That's what matters. As fine as your friend may have been, ask her who actually pulled out a substantial diamond, dropped down to one knee, and said, "Be mine for a lifetime."
Mm.
Something else I see.
I guarantee you the pool shrank like that.
Yeah, he does get quiet. But from what I've noticed too, a lot of them, and I'm in my later 30s, they're like early to well, I'll say early to late 30s because I think the youngest one's like 32 now. But they're starting to see that, right? That
Late.
reality is kicking in. Like, whoa, hold on. But they were all focused on career, dating, brunch, happy hour. But now it's like
They were focused on, okay, when we talk about career, let's be honest. Were any of these people really on a strong career path, or did they just have corporate jobs?
And I've seen those videos too where you talk about it. These aren't CEOs, CFOs, they're mid-level management. But I don't be wanting to call them out like that, huh? I don't be wanting to call them out like that. Like,
Well, okay. Well, see, the thing is, direct them to this show.
Mm.
Because it's going to be hard for you to call them out in that environment, especially in the DMV area, because they feel powerful. But right now, I guarantee you, all those, they feeling pretty goddamn vulnerable right now. Because the reality is this: if they're in their mid-30s, what should I've said it before. I think many women should go to college to find a husband. Because you're not going to find a career, not something where you're going to be competitive with men. We're not going to just let you beat us. You're going to have to beat us. Honestly, between the age of 18 and 27 are women's marrying in fertile years. This is why
Yeah, definitely prime years, man. Definitely prime years. One of the young lady that I was speaking with was 20. She was 28. Now, again, early on, because they always say that women mature a lot faster than guys, which I think that's debatable. In some debates, that could be true. Okay, I respect that, but also understand this: they're going to start to realize certain things after or when they get closer to the later part of their lives. Having children, being married, like they're really going to start to zero in and focus on those things as they get older. In the beginning, you got some chicks out there that, are thinking, hot girl summer, or not even necessarily that. Like they just want to just go out there and be bust downs, because not all women are like that. You got some out there, that just want to focus on their career, and they may want to travel and do all the rest of these other things. They don't want their life to just pass them by. Like they actually want to be working towards something. And this goes back to misinformation, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys, we had a little internet issue, but we back online. We still good. All right. Yeah, we still good. All right. So, misinformation, the information that they maybe didn't get from their mom growing up, their parents like growing up, understanding that you should be zeroing in and focusing in your prime years to get a man and keep a man and understand how to work with a man. Be cooperative, be supportive, be inspirational. Like really learn that guy, learn his likes, his dislikes, and try to mold yourself into that wife, that his person that he's going to spend the rest of his life with. You're supposed to be doing that in your prime years. Don't wait until after, you get out of your peak to start to look for those guys. I mean, again, you got some that do, which I would argue a very small percentage, of women actually get and stay in a relationship after their prime years. You do have some that do that, but you got to think about it, especially in this day and age. A lot of people are dealing with more trauma. They're dealing with more people to begin with, which is adding more trauma to their life, more mileage, and honestly messing up their chances of being and staying with someone long term because of all that mileage and all of that trauma that they're picking up along the way. And a lot of them believe and believe that they understand, how to be cooperative or know what a guy wants. Every man is going to be different, and you can't necessarily take the things that you learn from other relationships and think that's going to apply with the next guy. This is why it is so important to protect your womb, protect your body, and only give your time and your attention and those things to a guy that you honestly value and you honestly see yourself with long term. You got to be careful. Seriously, like just speaking to the ladies right now. Be extremely careful about who you give your time and your attention to. Because again, during your prime and your peak years are the years that you're supposed to be searching and finding a husband. Or if you don't want to be married, somebody that you're looking or that you want to spend the rest of your time, the rest of your life with. Really courting those guys. Yeah. Yeah, women. Y'all need
So
to
many of our
court and
non-black
align
counterparts,
yourselves as well.
right after college, there was like a wedding. When I was in corporate America in my 20s, white women were going to weddings all the time back
Yep.
because they was all getting married. You had women at 25, like, I'm getting old. I'm an old maid. All my friends are married. Married at 21, 22. And then you got this happening with, like you say, with black women. It's happening far too late. They're 10 years too late. You cannot get that back. So here's what I would tell your friends. Get over the Harlequin romance. Romantic love, soulmate, and all that shit, you don't get that at 35. You're going to have to make a business decision. You're going to have to make a deal. You're going to have to realize, at best, you are 80% of what somebody wants, and at best, you're going to get 80%. Stop making a decision based upon his jawline, his dick size, and all this other kind of stuff. Start making a decision on, will this man change my depends when I shit myself? Will he give me my insulin shot? Will he help me keep up with my meds? If I fall, will he pick me up? And will I do the same for him?
There it
He is
is.
going to have the
That's
right
beautiful.
to pull the plug on me should something happen. And conversely, is he going to be able to deal with the crust of my life, not the sexy having sex on the kitchen table? Eventually, there will be children, bills, and life is not supposed to be exciting. Normal life is boring as fuck. And we want scandal. I want dangerous this, that. No, you want consistent, stable, structured neighborhood. And honestly, a lot of these women are looking for that now, but here's the problem. Who are they looking for it from? The men who have what they have, DJ Neff, if your friends are in the DMV, they're educated in their middle management, they are having to look for a man that has at least what they have or more. That means they're looking for men around my age or higher. And then you got to ask the question, why would a man in his 50s who has options take a woman in her 30s when he can have a woman who's 25?
True. And that's if he's single, because I do know brothers your age that are in shape, they look good, but they cheating.
Well,
out here.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
And I'm like, bro, that's me right there. What are you doing? You got one at home. You taking out of my pocket, brother. What's
Well, understand even if every black man got married, there'll still be 2 million more women. Unfortunately, with men with options and power, there have always been side chicks and mistresses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, that's the reality. So, how old are you?
I'm 37. I'm
37?
38 this year.
All right, boy, you need to be starting at 23. 23. Hot lips.
Oh, there she go.
Hot lips.
Kevin! DJ
Wait,
Neff.
wait. Let her come up to the front. I want to see. I want to see what she look like. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. From that picture, she don't look too bad. She don't look. She don't look bad at all.
What's up, love?
You got the green screen going on back there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you did you intend to have the green screen option going on?
I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I don't
Let
know.
me do
I
this.
don't
Let
know
me
what to
change. Let me
do.
stop your video, and I'll just keep you. Did you want to? I got your picture up.
Okay.
All right. What's going on, Hot Lips?
Hey, Kevin.
Yo, man. She already seemed like a vibe.
What's up, love?
What's going on? You got the green screen going on back there.
Hey, she's
You-
straight. She's
Did you
straight.
intend to have the green
She's
screen
straight
option
now,
going
fellas. I
on?
don't know. She's
I don't know
straight.
what to do.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me
Freaking
change.
bugs out here, bro.
Stop your video, and I'll just keep you. Did you want to? I got your picture up.
Okay.
All right. What's going on, Hot
Yeah, that's
Lips?
fine.
Hey,
Hey,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Have I told any lies though? Am I wrong somewhere? Tell me why I'm fucking up.
No, Kevin, I can't. There's no pushback from me, Kevin.
I mean, so
No lie. I'm sorry. There's no lies detected. Everything you're saying is spot on. You get no argument from me.
so what's it gonna take to start getting more women to start saying yes off the rip?
So, from my perspective, I just believe that women are not informed. Their mothers didn't teach them. The mothers of their mothers.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I just say something about this? I could have sworn I was just talking about this. I just said something about. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wasn't taught. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just something in Black culture that we don't pass down. We don't have those conversations with each other. Um, we just don't do it. And if you would ask people and poll them, you would find that they would say, "My mama didn't tell me this," or "My daddy didn't tell me this," or for men and women alike, we just don't pass down this information to each other. It's like I'm being honest, Kevin. We're learning this at an older age.
hmm So let me ask you this: at what age? Because I have to tell the dudes, man. At 18 to 23, I give you a pass, but by 23, I got to have you start taking responsibility. At what age? Oh, if I grant the argument that people weren't taught, at what age are women supposed to sit back and say, okay, well, it's my responsibility to go learn and stop waiting to be taught? See, that's the real question, I think, because putting it back on the ladies to say, yeah, you didn't get it, or you got as best as they could give you, but if it's not sufficient, it's still affecting your life.
I get that. So you're giving a message, right? So
hmm
there's older folks that okay will get it, and maybe apply it, or a lot of people stuck in their ways they won't apply it. But you do have a lot of folks that's here that's
hmm
listening to you because they're not getting it from their parents. So you're giving them this information that's very important to their life.
Okay.
So you're giving them that message for younger folks who can impact the change now as a young person.
All right. That's why, and I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, but on Wednesdays, I want to have women talking to women.
There you go.
I'll be engaging in the process, but I firmly believe that it's easier for women to hear it coming from other women than for it to come from me or other guys. Because some of this stuff is triggering. A lot of it's triggering. And if Hot Lips was saying it, or Roxy was saying it, or Fitness Mom, or other women were saying it, I think it would be a little bit easier to sit back and say,
I get pushbacks. I've tried to share some of your videos and some of the other brothers' videos. Depending on how much they listen to or what part they listen to, they're like, "Oh, you hate women."
uh-huh.
Man, of
Nah, it ain't
course.
nothing
You gonna
like
get
that.
that though.
Listen to what he's talking about. Like it's difficult. So I agree with you on it.
That's why I say Women's Wednesday. I want, you know what?
It's not. It's
Because
not
I'm
gonna
in,
be easy.
well, I used to
Change
be
is not
in
gonna be easy.
on the yard, the sorority meetings on Sundays. Everybody would go to the off-site, and they all would have their sorority meetings, and it would be amazing how much information these ladies would share with each other in the Delta room, the AKA room, the Sigma Gamma Rho room, the Zeta room. So Women's Wednesday is really a place for women to kind of come and to talk to one another in a male space to where I can throw some harder questions out and then just let them kind of work through it themselves. What's going on, Sugar P?
Hi,
You're in H-Town now, right?
I am in H-Town.
Ooh,
Congratulations.
okay.
Thank you so much.
So
Hey,
where am I
I
off at
like
on
that
this thing?
voice.
Where am I
She
wrong?
sounds
What did I
nice.
miss?
On the women should say yes for it. I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, you know how I
Hey,
came in.
Kevin
I didn't
Flash.
start learning things till maybe I was like 26 when I started. And you know, I was in the activism and the feminist
Oh.
movement. And then I just saw how, you know, moving to DC and how that kind of lifestyle plays out for women and in the black community. And I just,
Yeah.
I don't think, and unfortunately, with our culture, I feel like with us women, we're far behind. Maybe Gen Z will probably get it quick. I'm a millennial. They'll probably, and I'm 27. Well, I'll be 27 in July. So they'll probably get it. They have way more access to this information now. Um, but I feel like I mean, I took it upon myself to learn more at like 26. I don't expect a lot of women with the whole activism and thing that's really big right now to catch up till maybe late. But I hope they will catch up kind of early, like, and hopefully we learn how to strategize like women. You know, I told my family that like white women,
Yeah.
you know, they're all about strategy and they're very cutthroat
Yes.
about that legacy, and that's protecting.
Now we getting into the net of these things, man. She said that white women are more into strategy. They understand strategy. That's interesting.
Protecting themselves down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I-
so let
Protecting
me
their
ask.
wounds.
So you were in the DMV. I'm assuming everybody on here is in that area, or at least have been there. And what I know about the DMV area, it's a nexus for political power, but it's also a place to where I think that so many of our sisters can actually do exactly what you said. Get so busy with life, so busy with career, so busy with this, that they're missing that the fact that they're not their other female counterparts. They're coupling up. They're getting married. They're making strategic moves.
Mhm.
And like it or not, even as jacked up as the family court system, the environment, the Me Too, all this stuff, I still 80% of my clients, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, or other, still want to get married. But these men are trying to become power players and movers, and they understand that family is the key part to building a long-time power structure, power base. Being a single individual actor out here, you just can't get a whole lot done. So when you say that white women move strategically, they go to college to get that MRS degree. They're going to try to attach names and work in long term. Can you speak to either that or the difference between how other folks look at long term dating and stuff versus this short term attraction hookup stuff? Pick either one of those and go with it.
I would say, especially my generation, and maybe it's not even my generation. There is just this serial monogamy, serial dating, casual dating thing going on. People are not being really strategic about their options.
Nope.
And maybe that could be both men and women, but I see that, you know, with women speaking on behalf of women, I don't think we're very strategic. You know, I have family members that tell me, oh, you shouldn't focus on those things. You should focus on yourself, you know, your life and your job, staying, you know, I had friends when I was dating in DC, my friends knew me. I would always go on a date. Oh, that's too much, you know. And so I have a lot of friends that just stay in the house and they expect their
Were any of these women married telling you that you should stop doing this stuff?
No. Or Jesus is their husband. So it just goes like that. And so, and if you see white women, and it's like, I'm not even trying to.
Hey man, when I tell you they are doing a full-fledged freaking breakdown, man, I'm just sitting here like, yo.
Some people might be like, oh, that's being racist. It's just not white women. It's their culture. They're just very strategic. You in DC, I mean, and even in college, they were getting married. A lot of the white people, women I knew, they get married really quickly.
Yep.
They introduce their friend. They bring their single friends to stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I moved here, I was like, I'm going to start making friends with white women. I'm going to start having friends who are married and things like it's putting yourself in those certain situations to literally change your mindset. And I think that's a lot of us are single. We're hanging out with these single friends, only going to girl nights and things like that, only girl nights and going out only with your girls. And so, yeah, I feel like that casual, short term dating thing, if people are obsessed with the next best thing. And
Hold on. I'm changing the name of the stream just because Sugar P. Jesus is their husband? Holy shit,
Let
man.
me throw this in there real quick because I've done
Damn.
a lot of Asian weddings too. So you know what I'm saying? It's definitely not just white women. I'm like, dang, and I'm talking about there was a year I think I did like 10 weddings or something at the same spot. They knew me because I was the only brother, the tallest brother doing these Asian weddings. But I mean, they were just consistent with it. Like they had a plan. They knew, hey, all right, after this, and this is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
Let me say that. Let me
Kevin
say
actually
this
gave a
that
story about
you
something
know
similar.
Jesus is their husband. That's a good one. But that's the point, being strategic. And see, when it's funny when I was starting in corporate America, white women were starting to feel the pressure. If they was
Early.
25 and not married, they were talking about there was old maids.
Mm-hmm.
And black women in the office were like, what the hell are they talking about? But you flash forward 15 years, and these women still married. Most of them still married. Even the ones that are divorced, remarried. And these other women are still single, but they didn't have kids. And who's struggling? A lot of these women end up being married, but they leave corporate America, and their husbands are the VP, but the sisters are still working maybe one level up. Let me answer a question in the chat room. Uh, don't Every time you hear a message, take the message. Stop trying to crucify the messenger. That's what it really comes down to. Take the message. Stop trying to crucify the messenger. And whether we like to admit it or not, Asian women tend to be the most, I won't say most sought after, but that they've learned that. I mean, what? But here's the thing: if you got white men going after Asian women, look, they don't have big old booties, big old boobs, big
No.
old anything. What are they really known for in a relationship scenario? Being more traditional, being more cooperative and submissive. Saying yes. I mean, I've often talked about my ex in New York. She was Korean and Japanese.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't want to go into that right now. But I think it's crazy that what you're saying, a lot of the women in your family were telling you to stop saying yes, stop dating, stop putting yourself out there. And they can't tell you what to do, but they told you to stop doing. But were any of these women happy, Sugar P?
I don't think so. You know, I have friends like that, and they will also complain, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. And personally, I'm not aiming to be anyone's long-term girlfriend at my age. I think a lot of girls are also doing that, aiming to be somebody's girlfriend, and you're at an age where you should be aiming to be somebody's wife. And I also see a lot of women in long-term girlfriend situations wasting their time, and that's leading nowhere as well. And so you have that situation. Yeah, a lot of these women I don't think are really happy.
Well, there's another thing that, hold on, DJ, and if I'll let you got this one. The older you get, the quicker you should be saying yes. I mean, you don't need to be with somebody for 2 years to get married. 6 months or less. I mean, what the fuck? If you're 35 years old, talking about, oh, I wouldn't get married in under 6 months, what do you need to be with them for 2 years? You should know enough to be able to, what you need to know about a person is their character and get the baseline information and then commit. But see, what we don't want to do, DJ Neff, is they don't want to take that as being informed enough. And this is going to go into a show I do tomorrow about men not taking risks. We always are looking to minimize risk, thinking that there's a certain amount of information we need to get before we make a decision. And that's why we end up getting left behind, because we are not picking a course. We're dabbling. You can know everything you need to know. Run their credit report, run their background, all that stuff you need to get. You can get that in under a week. You can find out all that paperwork in under 2 weeks. You can find out what you need to find out about this person and decide, you know what, I'm going to take Sugar P and we're going to do this. And just see how it turns out. But that means that if I married her or she married me, that means I'm saying no more to the dating market. And people honestly feel like that there's a better possibility out there. But what would happen if me and Sugar P were to be married? 2 years from now, we'd be talking about a new little P or whatever. You got shit to be talking about. And you motherfuckers would still be talking about, I'm going to a new restaurant or this and that. Look up 5 years from now, and there's a third P and a house and a business. And you're looking at, you could see the difference. Who's building and who's actually have something. So when this pandemic shit happened, you'd have VP and a couple of kids in the house hunkering down together, where your ass is out here trying to figure out who can Uber Eats can bring you something to eat because you by your goddamn self.
Hey, this is getting personal now.
This is a scary time to be alone. I really feel that way. And you can see that. Like, this is a scary, and who knows how long this will go on. And people are not used to being alone either. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and being in solitude. That's unfortunate.
So if I could ask real quickly, 2 questions I just thought about. The first one, with considering Sugar P's age, like, I guess when did she come to that, or how did she come to that conclusion? Like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't working. I don't want to be like them. Would be the first question. And then, what's the second question, man? I was talking to one of my homeboys the other day, and we was talking about matchup. Oh, why is it, I guess, easier for men, I'm not going to just say specifically black men, but for a man to have that type of laser-like focus when it comes to career and accomplishments, but he doesn't have that level of discernment when it comes to dating and relationships, if that makes sense. When it comes to picking and choosing the mates, based off of what you just said, Kev.
Well, I'll answer the second person, but go ahead, Sugar P.
What made me come to that conclusion? Okay, so for those that don't know, I kind of got in like this. I'm Sugar P for a reason, so I kind of got like into the sugar baby game, and it didn't last that long. I was in DC because I was like, okay, I'm getting a little.
She has a nice voice. She seems like, and listen, I don't know this young lady personally, but she seems like a young lady that has a good head on her shoulders, and she seems like she possesses a lot of qualities that would be extremely, well, I ain't gonna say extremely easy, but easier to see her as a wife. Just based on, the conversation that's being had, how she's taking the information and being able to have a cordial conversation with both of these guys that, are doing, they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot out. So, yeah.
Older now, and I was kind of tired of the game, I guess. But that's kind of how I got into it, and just exploring DC, getting accustomed to a new lifestyle, being able to put myself in certain situations and places to elevate my life and culture and seeing different lifestyles. I think that's basically how it started. Also seeing how feminism, like Kevin said, there are some good things that have come out of it, but there are also things that don't really help women. They're just not realistic for the times we live in. If we want to be real, it's not realistic, and it doesn't help us. It doesn't further us. And even, I think a lot of us might follow white women who are feminists, and they're doing the complete opposite. They might tell us, oh, black women, they might support us in that movement, but they're doing the complete
They damn sure voted for Trump.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that's how I kind of saw it, as I got older. And I've been in relationships before. I had, a guy that wanted to get married. Now, I don't think that would have worked out because he was not much, I don't know how to describe it, but I just got to a point where I did want to settle down. There was a point where I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to do any of that. I was I was really doing a lot of grassroots activism in the NAACP in the South, traveling a lot.
I'm actually kind of curious about her story now. Just basically just listening to her, man. She seemed like she's did some interesting things at a young age, man. I think I'm more curious as to why is she still single, but yeah, it's interesting.
Feminist work, and then I got in the real world, and it's like, okay, this is all a lot. So that's kind
Uh,
of how I came to the conclusion, and I got into these spaces. I don't remember how I found. Oh, I remember how I got in touch with Kevin. It was on the Cole show. It was about Sugar Baby, and that's how I found out.
Let me go ahead and DJ now.
That's what's
Let me
up,
tell you
though.
how. The question basically is, how do men decide to have a laser-like focus versus, and why women decide not to? Is that really what it is?
No. It was based on like when it comes to like our career and things that we can accomplish, we can have that laser like focus. But when it comes to dating and relationships, it's kind of
Oh,
you know.
here's the reason. One, raised by your mama, just like me.
Oh.
Raised by your mama, so structure, consistency, and discipline. See, working, we got to do that. And working is what men are. We are hardwired to work.
Okay.
We're not really our software for relationships is not male, it's female. See, our software for working is male, but even when we go to work, sometimes we act female in the job. That's why we don't tend to move up into leadership, because we're female. I talk about my failures as an entry-level manager all the time because I was a blue pill beta male bitch. I was a straight bitch.
You don't mind saying?
And I
Man, let
had
me
to
tell
go
you, something. I
back
love
and
it.
I had to get up under a man, become his number two, go through a complete
Rewire.
code rewrite, and then come out as the new RoboCop. And then I was a completely different manager or leader, because then I had the male software with the male work ethic. But here's another reason why we don't have the laser-like focus in relationship. We don't understand how to use marriage and relationships to build power. It's about upping your numbers and scratching an itch, not saying, you know what, that chick over there is a 7, but that chick over there is a 5 or a 5.5, but she comes from a good family, but she's a plain Jane, but her father is a partner in a law firm. I'm going to marry her and marry into that system, and I'm gonna get with those men as that woman. We don't do that. We just look and say, well,
Hot damn. I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy, man. When you look at things like movies and certain TV shows, it's like they leave like little breadcrumbs, like little things that most people don't pick up on. But when I look back and I think about, like, again, just the different movies and stuff that I've seen what he's talking about. And when I think about, some of my coworkers, some of my classmates, really, some of my classmates, how the wealthy, how they move is completely different to how, average people move. They keep the rich rich by moving in a certain manner. This is blowing my mind right now. I hope y'all
damn,
think
I'd
about it.
rather have the girl who's over on 5 than the plain Jane 5 with the father who has the country club membership and all that other shit. And see, we don't realize that non-black men make the same calculus, and they marry the 5, and the 5 realizes that she gets a husband who's actually really dealing with the men in her family, and if he decides to have a mistress or a woman on the side, his whole thing is you don't embarrass her, you don't embarrass the family, you keep your shit on the side, no outside babies, because you aren't just embarrassing your plain Jane wife, you're also embarrassing her husband, the law firm, and everything else. See what I mean? We're out here in this individual shit. And this is why I am 100% down with sugar babies and all other kind of shit, because they're going into it understanding what's up. You're a man, you got resources and means, I got this, and this. Let's make a deal. Knock it out. As long as you know what the fuck you're getting up front, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. I know white women who have gone from stripping, escorts, hoeing, or sugar babies to being straight up suburban housewives.
Wow.
Driving around in a Range Rover with a ring so big their hand is like this. It's not an after-hour show, but I'll tell the story again one day about a woman I know personally.
Wow.
Who married a guy who was loaded, and she was a big-time escort. And the dude knew it.
Wow.
But they made a deal. And you know what she did? She played her wifely role well. And once she decided to cross, she never looked back at that light.
Damn.
She never decided to go back and scratch that old itch, because she had too much to lose. See, You guys in the DMV, you guys are around a lot of political power.
Yes, you can feel it too.
But how do those political people move? How many middle
Very quiet.
managers, upper management, how many executives do you see who are single? A single, unmarried male is looked at as a threat to those other guys. They don't want you around their wives.
Hell no. For what?
That's why they don't promote you guys. That's why single men don't get promoted. Like it or not, I did an entire show about this. And in the red pill sector, guys are like, oh man, that's messed up. I'm like, well, it's the difference between being an individual worker and trying to go up and build something. So yeah, that's why. Yeah, I remember how we met now, Pete. Okay, let me go.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
Let me answer this question. Sugar babies are whores as well. They just feel better about calling sugar babies. Let me tell you something, Jr.
What the hell?
Oftentimes, you guys feel good about calling women out and trying to insult them. What does it do for calling them a whore?
Beta.
You're a whore too. If that's the case, you go to work and somebody pays you to perform a service.
Ha!
See, how you guys get off on your fucking high horse trying to wave your finger at women, and honestly, you're pissed because, anyway.
We're gonna try to get through some of those questions before, hopefully we have time at the end, guys. We're gonna try to get through some of those questions.
Check that shit, man. Check that shit. Over here, we're grown goddamn men having a conversation. You can't, that's going to be your one warning. You're going to be talking that crazy this time, I'm going to block you off my channel. Because I don't know what your problem is, but you can't have it over here. Because let me also talk about this. I made a video on my channel talking about how to crush the holiday party. And I told guys, go to the holiday party. The worst thing you can do is go alone. You better call your friend and have her say yes. And the worst, go in and hire a high-end escort and take her to the party. Dudes thought I was crazy until I had some guys come in and say, you know what? I've done that before because I did it. And I told a story about how I was in the executive washroom and the VP of marketing was saying, hey, I know Diane and she's a great woman. Next thing you know, I started getting assignments and accounts and things I normally never got. And about a month later, I had this guy wants you to come up to his office and for a quick 15-minute meeting. This is a VP of marketing, and I'm a rep. But just because I hired this woman who was his regular, turns out he had started looking at my background, looking at me. He had people around the office watching me. But he was curious as to know is why my guy up here, but I got this guy down here hiring this woman to come to this executive function. That guy became my fast track at this company. I skipped so many levels and got so many benefits by having an inside person, and we were tied together by a whore.
I don't want to, like you said, this ain't an after hours, but we really could have used you on the stream the other night. We kind of dabbling on the underworld a little bit, and I just leave it like that. But well, especially out here.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nav.
No. I was just saying, especially out here, like you learn. I've been invited to some parties, like some antics and stuff, and it's just a different way to connect, I guess. And there's certain things that
in DC.
Yeah.
In DC, the escort business will be one of the best ways to network with men of power. Right. I did it in Dallas. I probably need to. So we can do this show at a different time.
Right.
Understand something. Concubines were back in the day were a respected position. Women would try. They're like, well, you know what? Would you rather be a concubine to Kublai Khan? Would you rather be a concubine in the court, or would you rather be out there in the rice fields? Powerful men are always surrounded by beautiful women. Why? Beautiful women manage their ego and emotions. Yeah. We are their competition. So let's say you and I went into one of these smoke-filled rooms. They'd see two black men coming in onto K Street with lobbyists and stuff. They'd be looking at us like, all right, what's this guy's angle? Who are they? Are they opposition research? Are they this, they that? But let's say both of us walk in with, when I say well-known escorts, I don't mean they're known in the public, but I mean the people who know. And you walk in with Brenda of DC, and I walk in with Carrie of Georgetown. They're like, well, those two guys are walking in with two people that are, we know that in order to be with these women, you have to have a certain amount of money because they do a certain amount of screening and background checks. So they have been vetted. So you know what, DJ Neff, all of a sudden we would be looked at as being in the club.
Gotcha.
And they would be coming, hey, hi, my name is Brad. Hey, my name is David. I wanted to meet you. And next thing you know, you don't even know these people. They're like, yeah, but you've been vetted.
Right.
Because these guys are no smarter than we are. They're no better than we are. They just have opportunities that we don't have. That's why you see CEOs. They're not 1,000 times smarter than the lowest worker.
Hold on, y'all. Let me just make sure. So we do have one question that I will answer before I get up out of here in about 10 minutes. Okay.
I don't want to get too far.
I know, man. I'm a government contractor out here now. After I got the service, that's what I've been doing. And I stay here because I'm in the middle between my family up north and a little bit south. But that's the same thing I see. A lot of the people that are in charge, they're not necessarily smart, but they're connected. They know different people, and they've been vetted.
Well, let me tell you something else. When I talk about taking a risk, what does it tell you about a man who is a major account manager, basically a senior level sales rep, who will come to a company Christmas party with hundreds of people, and he had to pay an escort $750 to attend the event with him? What does that tell you about this man's level of risk? What is he willing to do? He's willing to do whatever it takes. He's willing to he's not just going to try to go in and do it this way. There's no way in hell I would have been able to even talk to the VP of marketing, much less have a meeting with him. I wouldn't even been noticed. Men respect men who are willing to put themselves out there, to assert, to confidently assert, to play in the gray areas. Powerful men understand they are pragmatic, ruthless, and amoral. I wouldn't hire that woman. That's an escort. She's a whore, this and that. Man, fuck that. She is gorgeous, and she's going to get me attention.
Mm-hmm.
And once I get the shot, can I do anything with the shot?
Yep.
Now, let's imagine that chance meeting had never happened. That
Show it by
person just
yourself.
saw me, and they looked around, and he had invited me up to talk to him. If I could not comport myself in a way that would make him want to take a risk on me or pull me into a circle, it would have just been a meeting. And therein lies the difference. What can you do when you wedge yourself in the door?
I'm telling you, man, if these conversations don't honestly make you sit and think about all of the different opportunities that you can capitalize off from just for listening to some of this information, man, I don't know what the heck you're doing right now. Seriously. And I promise you this stuff makes perfect freaking sense because I've been in certain scenarios. And who you have on your arm is very, very important, man. It can really get you into some doors. Or I can keep you out.
That's why I'm telling these ladies, say yes. Say yes to give yourself an opportunity to put yourself on. That's all saying yes does. It gives you an opportunity. And Jesus is their husband. Is going to be the next stream, Sugar P.
They always think that another opportunity is coming. I think that's what they always think. Well, I can skip this one because I know it's going to slide in my DMs.
A lot of young people, especially my generation and younger, I think they're obsessed with like the grass is greener, especially with these the dating culture. I don't know what it is these days. And yeah, there'll always be somebody better. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that they don't have the level of investment that person has.
What makes them better, though, I guess is the question.
Different?
Yeah.
They're different? Because, as somebody, I've never been with a woman I consider not to be an 8 or better. But there's always going to be somebody better looking, better something. It's always, and conversely, the same thing. But in the scenario I just gave down with Sugar P, you gotta weigh always changing your partner or changing your situation. You're starting and stopping versus staying in one place and building something.
There we go.
And see, that's one thing that I don't think that when we're single individuals, we value our freedom. We value our ability to choose, but we don't want to decide.
Mm.
Because once we decide, we feel like we have no options. Why? Because what is relationship? What is marriage to a lot of people? The death of freedom. But what else is it when on the other side? That's never been discussed or glamorized. So what I ultimately say to ladies is you're going to have to make a choice. Men work the room. And she would actually work the room and help me with men who normally would look at me as competition and look at me differently and say, you know what? Any man who could pick a woman like that's a man I need to work with. That's where you let her do her thing where she's good. You don't sit here and say, well, what kind of piping are we going to lay on this job? What kind of bricks are we going to? That ain't her job. Her job is the social shit. Your job is
Look
the
pretty.
planning shit.
Yep.
My girlfriend is 26 years. She's having my first child.
There you go. So, I mean, it's kind of like any good scenario. See, one of the things that made difference for me is I stopped shirking the responsibility of being a man, the masculine burden of performance. When I firmly put that on myself and said, even in my marriages that failed, ultimately the burden of performance was on me. I got soft and weak in places I shouldn't have. And I did not know. I did not know there were none of these spaces. But after doing that, I was like, okay, I realized that I shouldn't. Okay, all right. I'll never take my eye off the ball again. I'm going to continue to run. See, the thing is, DJ, if you're running, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. As men, if we're doing and building what we're supposed to be doing and working what we're supposed to be doing, the women will come along and get in this spot and nest, and they'll do what they're supposed to do. And we let them nest over there, and we go over here and kill the mastodon or the deer or whatever the fuck. And then when we sit around and do what we do, when we sit around and talk to our women, we talk to them. Most of the time you're spending is with the men. Men and women used to split up and go into different rooms after meals. The men would go into by the fire, smoke a cigar, and drink beer or scotch or bourbon or whatever, and the women would go in the kitchen or whatever and do what they do. I ain't trying to make my woman be my homie. That ain't her job.
Hell no.
The time and it asks, what are you willing to give up? Give up. I said, what are you willing to give up to
Had to kick it up a little bit, guys. Had to kick it up a little bit.
And here's the things I asked, DJ Neff. Are you willing to move far away from your friends and family and everything else? Are you willing to move with your husband to where it's just you and him geographically? Are you willing to give up all your male friends and all that stuff? Cut all that stuff off because y'all got to build a life together. Are you willing to drop all your social media? Unless you are in a position or running a social media marketing firm, why you need Facebook and all those other things? Are you willing to change religions? Are you willing to go from Christianity to Islam? Because she has to follow your religion. But are you willing to give, if you have children, are you willing to let him discipline your children like they're his biological children? Because he's going to be responsible for them no matter what. Are you willing to actually send your children to be with their father? Especially the boys after age 7, because he is their parent. And this is when it starts to get real tight. And then money. Are you willing to, if you are working, are you willing to make sure that all the money goes into an account? Your check goes into an account with just his name on it. You are an emergency contact, but you don't have any check writing authority. He's managing the money completely. That money thing stopped a lot of women.
Of course it did.
Well, and I've had this conversation here locally. I had women here locally say they would not give a $20,000 purse over to their husband or their boyfriend or whatever, but they would marry a man, they would have his babies or whatever, but you can't have their purse. I'm like, why? Because it's expensive. You see, money tends to tell where people's hearts are. And if you are dealing with a woman who actually, if you're dealing with a person, I want to just put it, but we're talking about women. If you're dealing with a woman who ultimately says you cannot have complete financial control, that means there's a fear there. If he has all of it, then I'm vulnerable. Then why are you going to make a baby with this person? Because you can have the power over her life and death. You could pull the plug on her. She's involved in a car accident. They could say, Mr. Neff, well, do you want us to take life support away? You'd have those powers. So you can have that, but you can't have the money? That don't make no goddamn sense, now does it?
No, not at all.
All right, guys, I got to get up off here. I got to eat something. But I think this was a good show.
You and me
thank
both,
Sugar
dog.
B,
You
for
and me
recording
both.
tonight. Thank Jesus is their husband. Go ahead.
Again, I love. She has a nice, soft voice. Like you gotta love that as a man. You got to love stuff like that. She has a nice, soft, soothing voice.
Have mercy. Jesus is their husband. Jesus, he came through swinging to the fences. Ladies, at the end of the day, understand something. Say yes. Say yes, because ultimately you're not saying yes to the men. You're saying yes to your life. You're saying yes to opportunity. You're saying yes to so many things. And saying no has got you where you are. Logic would say saying yes can actually help you be in a better place. All right.
Talk
Peace
to you
out,
later.
folks. Appreciate it. I don't know who's having a panel, who's having a show. I got some videos I'm going to be dropping, but I got to eat right now. Thanks,
You,
Sugar P. Thanks,
you and me
Hot
both,
Lips.
bro.
Hot Lips, see you. Thanks, DJ Nev, for showing up.
Appreciate you for having me.
Next Wednesday, Women's Wednesday. Ladies, come on, chop it up, talk to each other. Let's see what we can get done. Peace out.
All right, guys. So as you can see, man. Oh, come on, fam. I got it. As you can see, the early part of these videos and stuff, you had a lot of people that didn't want to cam up unless they agreed with him. You know what I mean? Unless you agree with them, they were. I ain't gonna say they were scared to get on the panel because I can't really, speak on what's going on in certain women's heads. But a lot of them didn't want to cam up and disagree, which I completely understand why. I think a lot of them deep down already pretty much understood, and you know, again, most of them just didn't want to cam up probably. But I already answered this question about would you date a girl with a BBL. I told you guys absolutely not. Again, anybody that's cheating the process, I can't rock with them, and that goes for BBL, breast lift, butt lift. I don't even know what that suction stuff is called. Whatever, lipo. I can't get with none of that, man. Right, and I'm not talking about medical issues. I'm talking about for most people, they just going to get their stuff just to get it because they're lazy and they don't want to do the work. So to those people, absolutely not, man. But what's your definition of a feminine woman? I think it'll probably take a little minute for me to break this thing down. But just to wrap it up, just to try to wrap it up and sum everything up, I would say my definition of a feminine woman would be the complete opposite of a masculine man. When you think about masculine, what do you think about? A protector, a provider, hard, combative, argumentative. Could be a lot of all of these hard things. When I think about a young lady, I think about someone that is soft. Someone that has patience, someone that knows how to communicate, someone that I understand that women are emotional, but a feminine young lady has control over her emotions, and she uses her femininity as a superpower, which means, you know what I mean, she uses that softness to always get her point across, and she always remains in that no matter what. Um, Supportive, again, not combative, but more cooperative, agreeable. Um, Man, I can honestly go up and down the line with this thing, but just at the net of it, man, someone that is soft, someone that is agreeable, and someone that understands the importance of their appearance. All right, really, really important that they understand the importance of their appearance. I don't believe that a young lady that calls herself feminine that doesn't understand those things need to be at the core of who they are, then I would definitely question whether they are feminine or not. But yeah, that's just a quick little breakdown. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Like Kevin Samuels said, man, listen, he's hungry, I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat. I've been at freaking work all day. Came out here and did the live stream, even though a part of me was saying, go get something to eat first, but we had to get it done. Anyway, y'all be blessed, y'all be beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.